Last week we were discussing on aspects to do with social informatics and its implications in as far as what we call the trends are concerned. We looked at sociability. We also looked at community. And so we are looking at social informatics from the sociability aspect and community aspects, or what we call practices within that ecosystem. And I think we also had a chance to define social technologies that are available. So we concluded with reflection questions that you had a chance to look at, and we reviewed the presentations from a few groups. Allow me to actually acknowledge the members or the secretaries of the various groups for the good work that they did in submitting the work of the various groups. So 14 groups have all submitted the work, and I hope each one of you has had a chance to download. I don't know whether you are able to download, or I should be able to post them. Most likely you are not able to download them, but what I'm going to do before the end of today's session, I'll download them and then post them on the e-learning for you to be able to reflect on how other people or your colleagues discuss those questions, because the responses were not similar. You'll find one group picked a particular social media and discussed it, another one picked a different one. So it's always good to see the comparison in respect to the discussions that went on. But I have gone through most of them, and I must indicate that I haven't really gone through all of them, but I have gone through most of them, and I want to appreciate the various group secretaries for the job well done. So I will be able, therefore, to share it. I'll now download them and then upload them as files, which you can then be able to all read. I think that will be good for reference. So that is what I wanted to mention in respect to last week's exercise. Now we want to look at today something slightly different. That is, I want us to look at collaboration tools, or collaboration, what I can actually say, digital collaboration tools. These digital collaboration tools are many. They also interface. They can actually be categorized. They can actually be categorized into various categories. And you are going to hear that categorization today. And then they are all used differently for different circumstances. Others can actually be used for specific work. And therefore, if something is used for a specific work, then it's defined in that particular context. So that is what we are going to look at today: digital collaboration tools. And then after that, you will have a chance to reflect on the enablers, what I call the enablers. That enablers, you will reflect on them. The reason why I call them enablers is that we can have these digital tools, and there are many, and you all know there are many. But what will make them, to be useful or to be used within a given environment are the things that I'm calling enablers. So, and so I would want you to reflect on those enablers. That are some good questions that you will be having to reflect on, and then we see the outcome of that. So, what I want to start with is what we call the importance or the benefits of these that we are calling collaboration tools. Okay. So benefits of collaboration tools. Whatever I'm going to give here is by no means exhaustive, but it's aimed to give you the thinking around why do we need these that we are calling collaboration tools. Of course, everyone, some of these could be individual in nature, but what I'm going to give here are what we call the generic. And I'm sure if I asked each one of you why you use a particular, tool, you'll say use it for this. And somebody will also say for this. So I want you to see what I'm going to give to be generic enough. What we say the thinking process. That what is really the broader thing before you narrow it down to a specific. So the first one is what we call productivity. So it is considered that digital collaboration tools have improved or enhanced what we call productivity. And how do we look at this productivity? How productive somebody is. Now, in this particular time, like in this particular period of time of COVID, you see sometimes people have had to work remotely in a manner using these digital platforms. And one of the things that you'll find is that people are working from anywhere. So we can actually say, sorry, here, we can actually say team members can be anywhere. A simple illustration is like when I gave you that task that you were doing last week, you were able to do it from where you are. That element of doing something from where you are without necessarily having to spend time to travel and do all these things, it makes you to be productive. You are able to do something. The other thing is what we call reduction in downtime and allow people to be productive when it best suits them. I'm sure one of the things that you realize in Nairobi, the traffic jam is like in developing country. So that developed country, even developing countries, some of these challenges of traffic is there. So you'll find that somebody may spend 2 hours in the traffic. Now that 2 hours is lost opportunity, but you'll find now with this flexi working time through these tools, people are now able to work at the comfort, and that ensures therefore there's no lost time in that particular case. So and there are many things that you can actually be able to look at. Not long ago, I was having a chat with somebody who's in another place, and I am here. Ordinarily, could have taken us a long time to be able to meet and discuss what we were discussing in order to do a given activity. But we have been able to do that which we wanted to do, or courtesy of the digital platform. The other thing is efficiency. We say that employees typically um, use less time. Use less time searching for information and resources. What's happening is that, I'm sure most of you are able to post resources somewhere in the cloud, and then it is able to aggregate this resource, and therefore it's easy to be able to get this information and resources wherever it is stored. And then that also brings in, when you have the resources and information readily available, then you can actually be able to do the reporting. So these collaboration tools have actually made it easier. A good example is, I'm sure some of you use Google Docs, which you can actually share, and everybody is able to locate some information that they need, and you are able to build these things in a more cohesive manner. That's also is one benefit of digital collaboration. So you can see, if you are a CEO or somebody who's starting a company in your startup, you realize that if you are going to have this technology being part and parcel of your organization operations, then you are going to benefit in terms of productivity, efficiency, and a few others as you are going to see. Because they're cost effective as compared to traditional methods. When you look at how people used to share even documents, it's required, for instance, you want to send a document or a file, to somebody who's in Kisumu and you are in Nairobi, so you had to go and register it with a courier service. I am not saying that the courier services are not there; they're still there. Are they going to go away? The answer is no. There are other things that cannot be put in a soft form. But you realize, therefore, with the use of these collaboration tools, basically you are able to share these materials, and they are able to go and ideally you are able to save on costs. You see, that element you could use for postage. Let's say that this material can actually be transferred, or whatever that you want to do is able to be transferred from one location to the other. It's no longer there. I'm sure you and many other aspects that you can consider that the digital collaboration tools are quite cost effective. You can actually pick an example. I've only given one, but that's not the only one. The other thing is that the audience is wider and diverse. You realize that when you share materials through particular platforms, it can actually be shared, it can be replicated, it can be reshared actually, and therefore you find that and the audience there, it's not limited by geographical locations. You realize that the group is different. And when we talk about diverse here, we talk about diversity of an audience. We are talking about what you call the gender. We are talking about culture, among other things. So diversity here traverses. So digital collaboration are not limited to a particular individual or a particular group. If you look at GitHub, for instance, you cannot actually say that this GitHub as a tool is for so and so. Those are tools that are actually easily used by anybody who has access to that particular resource. So ideally, that has enabled um, people to move away from that element of limitations in terms of diversity. Because so long as somebody is able to access it, then they can actually be able to use it. Other tools that you which traverses these, you see them maybe when I share materials with you is like the doodle. Some of you know the doodle, which has also been used for in a collaborative manner. For people to organize events, to share in organizing events and such kind of things. I'm sure you have used the doodle. There are other, tools like 30 boxes. It's called 30 boxes. This is used for project management. It's a web, kind of application where you'd find that people are able to share thoughts in respect to a particular project. Of course, the GitHub is another one which I think most of you have used. And then there are many others that are very common use. OneDrive, which you've actually used, OneDrive, which is also used for file storage. So in that particular case, it's not limited to an individual. It can be used by anybody, diverse group, and that particular case, then it enables um, everything to work, and it goes to a wider audience. Security, this is a very controversial one, but I'll try to explain. It has both the benefit on this. Security, you can actually look at it from the positive, but also there's the negative aspect of it. That there is increased security features these days, of course. Like there are those that use the two-step authentication. There are now three-step authentication, which is actually a little bit more secure. So some of these collaborative tools offers you that element of securing what you are able to use. That means users can have the peace of mind knowing that sensitive data is secure and safe. But of course, again, we can also say that this security, the collaborative tools have also been used in a negative way. It's what we call the social engineering, whereby, for instance, some tools can actually, you are told, okay, yeah, you can use this, but behind it, somebody is correcting some information from you, which can actually be used to manipulate your thinking or the employee's thinking, and then it becomes the weakest link to the security in an organization. That's what we call the social engineering aspect. So as we talk about security, be conscious that here what we are actually saying is that some of these tools provide that extra authentication mechanism. But of course, as I've also said, there is the downside of it. They have also enhanced on project management. Some of these tools, as I've actually talked about, 30 box tool. It's a 30 box tool. Maybe just it's usually written this way: 30 boxes. Okay. It's not that there are 30 boxes. It's just a name given on this collaborative tool that is used for project management. So one measure of the advantage of this, therefore, workspaces they ensure all project materials communication with external parties are kept within the same workspace. Which is also, you look at it GitHub. When you are in the technical aspect, you can look at GitHub as another example of those projects. Whatever you are working on, somebody is working on another thing. All of you are able to see the same and you are able to work on whatever that you are doing. The shareable documents that I've talked about, where you are able to uh, share specific work to your colleague, and then your colleague is able to also make the same changes, and you are able to see it's a common feature. An example is the Google Doc, which if you invite a team member into it and you are maybe writing a document, both of you can actually be writing the same document at the same time, and it saves time. I know of people who have even written, maybe joint documents. Personally, I've used it when I want maybe my student in the masters to, uh, to get immediate feedback. I just invite them to use the Google Doc. So as they actually write whatever thoughts that they have, I'm able to see it and I'm able to correct it. So in that case, we are working collaboratively. So that then they get instantaneous kind of feedback. So it saves time, and it ensures, therefore, um, you are always on track on what you are doing. So some of those things are readily available. The other thing is, therefore, provides it's easy to keep track of projects, as I've indicated. Some of these tools provide a way of knowing, keeping the backup. You get know, where are you coming from and where you are going. And this never used to exist. So these are the benefits which are coming in some of these tools. The 70 benefit is that actions are done quickly. Yeah, we say with good online collaboration, there is no longer a need for arranging a meeting or a phone call in order to review documents. In fact, as I've explained, I find it very essential and very helpful. Um, like when I'm supervising the master student, we talk in a collaborative manner. They put the document like us, I put it here. As they do the comments, I'm able to ask them a question. So it makes it easier. So, and for instance, again, if you are doing the Google Doc kind of material, the same. So it's quick. That's quick and the best which work is done. The other thing is that documents can be all stored in a single place. This never used to be really the case so much, but now with the growth of the cloud computing and the cloud space, so you'll find that most of these materials are actually kept in one place and accessed by everyone. This makes it easier for all team members to have access to all necessary documents regardless of their location. And therefore, when it becomes that way, then you can see point number one becomes quite quite a plus. So those are some of the benefits associated with this, what we call digital collaboration. Now, as I said, some of these benefits are specific to a given tool. They might not all be for all the tools, but they are specific to a given tool. Which now then brings me to a section here. Allow me to do some bit of editing. Yeah, what I call reflection question, which I want you to reflect a little bit, so then now you can bring it into the context of what you are doing. But before you do the reflection, I think I need to change it this way. I think this is better. I'll tell you why I want it to be that way in a minute. I want you to go to this site. I'm sharing this link. You would actually go to the e-learning and then you will be able to see it. Or let me actually share it in the Zoom. I think let me share it in the Zoom. I think it's faster. In a minute. Yeah, sure. I think everyone is able to see it. Just get that. I want individually go through there. You will see these tools. They're not all, not they're exhaustive. I think these are linked which has tried to compile some of these things. Some of the ones I've mentioned, you may find them there. And some of those that you know you'll find them there, and some which you know you may not find them there. That does not mean that the ones you know are wrong and these are the correct ones. So it's important to know that. But these are some of the examples of these tools that you need to know. Of importance in that particular session that I want you to see is to understand the categorization. The categorization of these tools. Realize that different tools are used for different things. For instance, we talk about survey. I'm sure most of you have used the survey monkey. You have not used the survey monkey. You may have actually used it, what we call the Google Forms, okay, to create maybe a questionnaire, so that then you can conduct, data, gathering, okay. Others, you will hear about online meeting platforms, citizen engagement, file sharing, among others. So just to mention a few. So the most critical thing is to check on the categorization of these tools. Okay. So once you go through those categorization, right? You will then reflect on this. These questions are not. One would appear like, hey, this looks not here and there, not specific to this, but this question. Let me explain what they are. You see, from this first topic, we defined what is social informatics, and therefore, for instance, does an internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? And here is discussed. Now, a question like discuss means that your answer can only make sense if you are able to give evidence. And if there is no evidence, then your answer does not, suffice. What's important here is to reflect on I'm sure every one of you knows the internet. You reflect on the success of an let's say for instance, there's a use of can I say a creative thinking tool within an organization. Now, if a given organization has adopted that, what would make it succeed? Now, that's why we are talking about the social informatics, because there is what we call the human aspect. So the first thing we talked about, the human aspect. Then we talked about the technical aspect. So what are those social aspects, not the technical aspect? Because the success of digital collaboration is dependent on those social aspects. So in other words, I've already answered the first one. Does an internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? The answer is yes. But can you support that? Yes. All right. That is what I want you to have a discussion. And for you to have that discussion, I'll again add something here. Select one category of collaboration tool to help in the discussion. Now, like what I've actually mentioned there, like if I say we have the category here, you in that paper, that not paper, that link, for those who have opened, you can see there a number. Maybe one category of tools that you want to look at. Maybe somebody can actually say project management tools. Pick, that category. Do not pick two categories. Then in this project management tool category or tools category, you will actually try to reflect on those tools and see whether the social component of a collaborative tool is necessary for that category to succeed. Then on this one, what are digital collaboration tools? You will actually describe what they are. The digital workplace. I want you to describe the digital workplace and the social intranet. So in fact, this question, the social intranet, you will need to reflect on this in order to come up with this. Let me see the answers that you will come from there. But when we convene, I'll be able to give more feedback on the same. The next is, how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration? So here is like you are trying to explain, for instance, if I pick an example like spreadsheet, which is within the Google Doc, how does it actually make collaboration? In other words, first of all, you need to understand collaboration, then you see how it does. So the key thing also here is pick of a task. Okay, for you to answer the first part here, pick of a task, a responsibility that is to be done by a team, because collaboration can only take place if there is a team. Then try to look at those activities that are to be done and then map them into the architecture or the structure of that particular tool. Now, once you look at that, then you can actually be able to say, now, because this collaboration tool has X, Y, Z, then it supports this task this way. So you must be able to reflect on a given task and the activities done there, then those activities, relate them into the functionalities of the tool, and then try to map those functionalities of the tool in supporting that which is to be done in a collaborative manner, right? So reflect on it carefully. As the social functions actually needed for this. So for you to be able to know that, then you need to also pay attention to what is called the social functions. What are the social functions? So I know as you go into the groups that I'm going to put you in, the new things that you are going to come in. I want to see how you come up with what we are calling the social intranet, then the social functions. These are the new terminologies that you are coming across. So when you reconvene, I'll be able to see how you come up with your answers and I'll be able to give more insight. So so that brings us to the first part of this discussion. The second part of the discussion, you are going to do it in groups, and I'm going to form those groups now. We'll convene back from those groups after 30 minutes from now. But these materials, this whatever I've used here, I'm putting them on the e-learning right away, so you can access them in the e-learning for purposes of referencing. So let me form the groups, so then we can start this. I'll form the breakout rooms. So today I'm forming 10 groups. So the groups are open now. You can
the Earth every few hours, afraid that our ship would drift away and we'd lose sight of
so let's group leaders or raise your hand, then I'll be able to call your group to make a presentation.
Sitting on my bed, I went to join Hank and Carter in the control room. The two of them were casually chatting by the control panel when they saw me join and offered me to join.
At least each group will have a chance. So let's start then with group 4. The representative of group 4.
Our representative was I, but it's dropped off because of the network. Let me ask for the doctor.
Okay. Okay, no problem. As the group 4 members get sorted, we'll go to group 7.
Yes. Hello.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine. So I was the representative for Group 7.
So I was just.
So if we look at the reflection questions,
Yes.
the first one where it states, does an intranet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? We decided that yes, it does have to be social to support digital collaboration, because by definition, for something to be anything that involves a collaborative action between more than one individual is a form of socialization, even if it's digitally. So we decided, because it involves any collaborative actions, then yes, it has to be social. For the second question, where we're discussing, we're trying to give definitions for digital collaboration tools, a digital workspace, and social intranets. What we decided was that a digital collaborative tool is a piece of software or a platform on which multiple parties can collaborate via a local connection or via the internet. For example, Skype. As for a digital workplace, we came up with the definition of this being the virtual or modern version of the traditional workplace, which quickly and securely provides personalized role-based services and all the applications, data, and collaboration an employee needs on any device, at any time, at any location, through a consumer-like online experience. As for social intranet, we decided that this is a social internet is a way of conducting some sort of communication within a, let's say, a corporation or network using social tools approved by the company for employee communication. For the last question here, where we talked about how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration, we decided to use Skype as our example base, where we saw that Skype ensures collaboration by having an inbuilt chat functionality, having a screen sharing functionality, video sharing, audio sharing. It has a friend based system where you can friend people and share information with them, person to person. Yeah. As for the second part of the question, where we talked about whether social functions actually needed for this, yeah, we decided that yes, social functions are indeed needed for collaborative tools to ensure collaboration, because like we discussed in the first question, it like if a software involves collaborative actions, then it is in fact social and it uses social functions. So yeah, that's what we came up with in short.
Okay, thank you, Brian, for that. Let's hear from another presentation. Thank you, the entire group. I think you did your best. So let's hear group number 5.
Hello,
Yes, Walter, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Fine, thank you.
So group number 5, we based our discussion based on discussion groups and online communities. So for the first question, we saw that for online communities, the social internets might need to be social because you might need to share texts, maybe photos or videos. Like an example, we based like blogger.com, where people share their texts and photos across the web. For the second question, for digital collaborative tools, we say these are technologies that can be used in collaborative terms to help people achieve a certain goal. They can be technical or non-technical. So, our example here, we used Zoom, as Zoom allows us to communicate like we are having a class while everyone is in their different locations. For digital workspace, we say this is an integrated technology framework that is designed to deliver apps, data, and desktop delivery. It also allows employees to access applications and data in real time from any device without regard to location or where data is stored. Our examples here, we used Citrix and the e-learning platform on Strathmore. For social intranets, we say this is a specific platform that only selected users can use to communicate due to enhanced security, but has all other social technology features. The users might be specific, like for example, a company, or like the way Strathmore School only allows the students and lecturers to be able to access organization resources. An example here, we used Slack. For the final question, uh, they provide users with a platform to share the digital collaborative tools are allow for collaboration in that they provide users with a platform to share their ideas, and other people can critique, let's say critique the idea or add on to the idea in support or in denial. We saw that yes, it may need to have social functions in that. If let's say you wanted to get the specific opinion of one person, you might need direct messaging to inform him about maybe your idea and get his reply or response to the idea. An example here we said is Yahoo Groups.
Okay, thank you, Walter, for that presentation on behalf of Group 5. So we go now to Group 8.
Hello.
Hello, Kel, how are you?
Fine, thank you. So we were in group 8. Okay, so for the first question, does the internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? We chose yes to that because for it to introduce the social aspect, introducing the different people aspect, whereby having it as a digital collaboration, there's the essence of sharing files, the discussions, etc. So we have to make the internet social so that we can now support digital collaboration. A category we chose was the project management, and a particular tool was Trello, because Trello is basically a collaboration tool that helps, should I say, uh, people or project managers assign tasks to the different people. So basically, we have boards whereby we can add tasks to the board. Then we can keep track of all the tasks and their due dates. We can also allocate people the different tasks. Yeah, we can also keep track on who is doing what at a particular time. There's also the aspect of comments whereby in case someone is assigned a task and then he's not sure of a particular area, they can ask for feedback, can ask other questions. Yeah, there's also that organization when it comes to Trello. Yeah, so what are the digital collaborative tools in the what are the digital collaborative tools, the digital workspace, and social internet? So I'll start with the digital workspace. It's basically an online platform that connects uh, like tools, information, network, and the different people uh, from different areas and help them communicate. Basically, it's like moving from a physical office to a virtual office and adding the aspect of collaboration. We can look at the example of like Trello. Instead of having like physical meetings where we can schedule the different tasks, because after the meeting we leave, someone might be confused of what particular task, then they'll have to like waste time asking for what they are told to do and all that. With Trello, everything is there. You can ask there, and then you can get feedback there because you'll get notification on what like the task you're assigned and all that. And then the social functions, oh sorry, the social internet is basically the applications that form the digital workspace. The specific applications like now the Trello, all those applications that enable the sharing of information, the files, the different discussions, all that are the social internet. Yeah, also digital collaboration are the applications. Then, how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration? Um, we discussed that they allow exchange of information between the different groups at different areas. So maybe like you can look at multinational organizations like Microsoft. We can ensure effective collaboration between the different groups. Maybe the teams spread over. Maybe there's a team in US, there's another team in like, France, Kenya. So all those teams can work together with having digital collaboration. So it ensures efficiency in that less time is required to search for resources because all the resources can be at a particular area. Also, there's productivity because people can work at times that best suit them. Then they can work literally anywhere, like at home. So yeah, and also are social functions actually needed for this? Social functions allow users to ask questions, comments, and interact. So they are actually needed because the social functions now are form. should I say, the basis of now digital collaboration, because if they weren't there, then collaboration would not be as effective as yeah. So that's what we discussed.
Okay, thank you, Isaac, for that presentation on behalf of Group 8. Thank you. We now move to group number 4. I hope you are now ready.
Okay, hi sir. Isaac was not able to come, so I'll be standing in for him.
Please do. Hi,
Uh,
Vivian.
okay, so does the internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? So we started by defining an internet, which is a private network used by an organization, and we said yes because the social internet is built around people and enables widespread participation and interaction of employees. So it connects employees to information. What are collaboration tools? The digital workplace and social intranets. So collaboration tools are digital technologies that facilitate collaboration, and then collaboration is working together. So they're just digital technologies that support working together to produce a certain goal. So that, I'm sorry if you're hearing other noise. The digital workplace is a virtual environment where a collaborator or collaborators in the scope of their roles have access to resources and tools needed to work effectively. It enables staff to communicate and collaborate beyond their physical office location. So, for example, in this time of Corona, people can still work from where they are. And then social internets are an internet facing platform where employees can easily contribute knowledge and communicate with each other to make working more efficient and effective. So, yeah, social internets are the heart of the digital workplace since it helps provide opportunities for real time collaboration and meaningful connections, even though it's digital. They provide robust mobile enabled features that enable the shift to a digital workforce. So we found some features. Examples are news feeds, video document libraries, recognition tools, and mobile functionality. So how do collaboration tools ensure collaboration? They support, well, we said that they support multiple users who can be connected from different locations, and they ensure collaboration by facilitating communication, coordination, and cooperation. So, are the social functions actually needed for this? Our answer was yes, and we summed it up by saying this is because collaboration tools must take into consideration that collaboration is all about people, and hence the social functions are needed for this. Yeah.
Thank you, Vivian, for that presentation and for presenting on behalf of, is it Isaac who just joined and on behalf of the group number 4. Thank you. Now we go to group number 1.
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Fine, go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, I'll be representing group number 1, and we decided we'd look at the file sharing, and we decided to, as an example, we'll use Google Drive as an example of the file sharing based systems. So, number 1, does an internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? Answer was yes. This is because this is due to the fact that digital collaboration here has data and files that are personalized by someone. And in order for some of them to be shared, there has to be a social aspect included, right? All right. So the second question was, what are digital collaboration tools, the digital workplace, and finally, what is social intranets? So for the first one, digital collaboration tools. These are tools used to enable people to work together online without necessarily relying on in-person communication. right? And the second one, what is a digital workplace? We provided a simple definition. It is a virtual, modern version of the traditional workspace. Simple enough. And finally, what are social intranets? These are personalized, role-based services and all applications, data, and collaboration an employee needs on any device, anytime, anywhere, through a consumer-like online experience. Okay, hopefully you're still with me. And
Yes, yes,
finally,
we are. Yes, yes. Yes.
the final question: how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration? So the answer to that is it allows individuals to gain remote and timely access to shared files. And finally, are the social functions actually needed for this? The answer is yes. This is because you need to view personalized content, and as long as that is shared, it is regarded as a social function. So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Magaki, for presenting on behalf of Group 1. Thank you. We go to group number 10.
Okay, I'll be presenting for group number 10.
Yes, hello, Sunny, how are you?
For group number 10, we decided to use the collaborative tool um, Google Docs. Okay, Google Docs. Chose Google Docs because we always use Google Docs to do our assignments, especially the ones we need to all participate together in a group, especially during this period. So when we reflected on the questions, the first question, does the internet necessarily have to be social to support the digital collaboration? So yes, with Google Docs, like the only people who can access the document is maybe people who have the link, or it can actually just allow people of a specific domain, like for example anyone with a Strathmore email to access it. Yes. And then in the second question, what are digital collaboration tools, the digital workplace and social internet? So our group said that digital collaboration tools are tools that allow individuals to work on a common goal, that is a project or a document, or to even interact from anywhere, despite the difference in the geographical location. And then we said that digital workplace is a new concept that enables tech savvy employees to access the systems and tools they need from any device. And then we said social intranets, they use tools to that the use of tools that incorporate social technology, powerful search, multimedia creation, and sharing capabilities, and more to create a communication and collaboration hub that can be easily accessed to get work done. And then in the question for how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration, we said they provide the collaboration tools, especially okay in relation to the one we are doing, that is the Google Docs. It allows for real-time updates. Okay, multiple people can update the document together, and it allows sharing of the document. And then you can and then yeah, you can easily comment on someone else's work. Yes, by creating a chat forum. Yes. Yeah, those are those that's what we discussed. Can you hear me? I'm done.
Yes, I can. Sorry, I muted myself. Thank you, Rosan, for presenting on behalf of Group 10. Thank you. So we go to group number 2.
Okay, I'll present on behalf of group. to.
Yes, Jerry, go ahead.
Hello.
Hello,
Okay.
how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Uh, the seed charts. In the document, it's listed under creative thinking, but it's a really versatile tool. It can be used by like development teams. They can use it to visualize the workflow, to break down abstract ideas about the project into concrete actionable steps. Yes, does the internet have to be social? So yes, it does need to be social because from experience, uh, I've worked somewhere where the internet was just used for information, just information about the company policy. So it's just the admin who was posting content. There was no form of interaction among the people who are working in the company. So it didn't qualify as a collaboration tool. So for collaboration to take place, there needs to be that social aspect. What a digital collaboration. Um, Yes. Okay. What are the digital collaboration tools, digital workspace, and social internets? Okay. So digital collaboration tools are online tools and technologies that help teams to connect no matter where they are. And the main objective is to create synergy. That is to come up with a final product which is better with individually. A digital workspace is an integrated technology framework designed to deliver and manage
Sorry, we are losing you, Jerry.
app and desktop delivery. And usually a digital works and data in real time on any device. Check my connection. Is it better now?
So,
Am I back now?
not really. Maybe we will give you a chance to conclude later because your internet is fairly unstable and we are not able to hear. Maybe I will give you a chance to conclude later so that then we see. I don't know whether is it clear now.
Um, okay.
Yeah, now
Can
it's
you?
better. Now it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, where did you lose me?
Actually, when you were talking about the social internet.
Oh, okay. So, okay, the social intranet. Okay. First and foremost, it has to be an intranet. An intranet being like a company network just for employees to uh, communicate in house and to lock out outsiders. So for it to be just more than an internet and a social internet, it has to facilitate uh, interaction on connection between employees. So uh, it's actually a communication tool rather than just like a notice board. Okay, so the final question was about collaboration tools. How do they ensure collaboration and are they needed? So, focusing on Lucid Chat as an example, uh, yes, the collaboration tools need the social functions. Like on Lucid Chat, you can be able to comment on maybe parts of a diagram that you might not understand, or stuff that you want to be improved. Yeah, so basically for a collaboration tool to ensure collaboration, the two main aspects: communication and being able to work together. So better communication, where you can be able to chat, and on Lucid Chat you can be able to collaborate on a diagram in real time with various people. So people are able to work together on a diagram, and that helps to speed up the process of working together. Yes, so that was our presentation.
Oh, great, Jerry. Thank you. Thank you on behalf of group number 2. So now we go to group number 9.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Hello, Moses. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll be presenting from group 9. So the first question stating that does an internet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? Discuss. Select one category of collaboration tools to help in the discussion. So we said yes. Social means involving having a companionship with team members or partners. Then we said look at what an internet was. We found out that an internet is a system of computers for sharing information, collaboration tools, and other computing services within an organization. However, an internet excludes people outside the organization. And we also look at a social internet. A social internet is basically an internet contains several different social features where the employees are easily able to make contacts with other staff, communicate, and share knowledge with each other. And therefore, looking at those definitions, our answer is yes, it has to be social. Then for question 2, what are digital collaboration tools, digital workspace, and social internets? So we said the first one, a digital collaboration tool is a digital platform where people can interact with each other either directly or indirectly. Number 2, so a digital workspace is similar to a collaboration tool, but only applied to an organization. We said look at Microsoft Teams for an example. Microsoft Teams enables the different people in the organization to create workflows and also see what the other members of the teams have done specifically to that organization or that group of people doing the work. And finally, a social intranets. We say these are communication platforms used by employees of an organization. The difference with it from a digital workspace is that it's used mainly for communication and not just work activities, but mainly social work inside an organization. That's the main difference. They're mainly used for communication. So for the last question, how do collaboration tools ensure collaboration? Are the social functions actually needed for this? So we decided to look at an application known as Microsoft SharePoint. Microsoft SharePoint is a web collaboration platform that integrates with Microsoft Office tool. It's similar to Google Docs and allows users to access Word documents, Excel documents, and more. The main purpose of Microsoft SharePoint is to provide document management and storage system. Some of the functionalities that can be performed with the tool is number 1, multiple access at the same time, whereby people can access a document and edit it at the same time. The second functionality is version control, whereby you can create different versions of a document to be able to see the changes that have been added as the work continues. And finally, the major functionality provided was one called checkout functionality. Checkout functionality enables a user to lock a file. When the user has locked a file, only he or she can edit that file. And when he or she is done, you can unlock the file for others to edit it. This can be used let's say for functions whereby you wanted to check what the content has, at that moment without others adding content to the document. Therefore, looking at these capabilities, such as I've talked about, which is basically multiple access, version control, and checking out functionality, we say the answer is yes. The social functions are needed. So this application can ensure either direct or indirect collaboration between the different members. And that's it. I'm done.
Sorry, thank you, Moses, for representing group number 9. So now we go to group number 6.
Hello, I'm going to be presenting for group number 6.
Yes, Stop. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Mariam?
Great, thank you.
Okay, so the first question I want to start with, does the internet necessarily have to be social? So I guess, so how we discussed was that yes, the internet has to be social because if you look at several groups or workspaces, they sometimes they'll be like separated or like in remote areas, or they'll be working remotely. For example, especially in current times when now you're not supposed to be meeting each other physically, it's where the social tools really come in handy. So this way you find out that internet really becomes necessary to be a social thing. And then when you talk about social functions, it's like, what do you mean by them? We mean the let's say like the communication tools or the project, the work progress tools, for example, like GitHub or like Trello. So for our discussion, we chose GitHub as an example because it's the most perfect for like for a scope like ours, where we are like continuously designing projects and when they need updates, where they can even be shared with all the group members, right? And GitHub is very efficient for that. And then so what are digital collaboration tools, a digital workplace, and the social intranets? So if you look at the internet, what an internet basically is like a smaller internet whereby you form, like the social internet is basically something where you would be sharing continuous information, a lot of like projects and updates and like small like let's say, like for example there's like mock-ups of projects you're doing, like design tools. So all that is considered to be the social intranet, whereby you're transforming your professional work into something which is social, so that like you can communicate and be more productive. And then how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration? So these tools, when you incorporate the social bit into them, that's how like for example when you have like the chat function or the video call option or the video conferencing option, for example, that's how you can ensure they become very social, because then you're communicating frequently, and then that's how I feel like the productivity also increases, because once you're in constant communication, you know what is required and how the output is going to be, and everybody stays updated. So I guess it's very necessary to have like social collaboration tools and to create a social intranet so that everybody is updated and productivity is ensured. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Faustin, for representing group 6. Finally, we'll go to one group that has not presented. That's group number 3. Group number 3. Members of group number 3, are you here?
Hello.
Hello, Amon.
I believe we are in group 3. I don't really remember.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Yeah, but okay. So let me just pull up the questions. Okay, so for the reflective questions, for the first question, does an intranet necessarily have to be social to support digital collaboration? Well, our answer was yes. We took an example of Google Collabs and also Trello, but Trello was covered, I think, by Group 8, so we had to like make some adjustments. Okay, so in Google Collabs, multiple people can edit the same document. Basically, all Google services that provide collaborations, multiple people can edit the same document. They can also, you can keep track of who has done what, and when the last edit was made. People can also share comments and feedback through sort of a chat platform. And there's also organization in the platform where in Google Colabs, the work is arranged in sections. So you can actually assign people to work from section to section. So yes, collaboration in itself defines interaction, and therefore it forms a platform. The platform needs to be some sort of socializing, to have some socializing features. Yeah. So second question, what are digital collaboration tools? Okay, these are tools that enable people to work with each other independent of physical contact or physical space. So people can work practically from anywhere together. Workspaces, digital workspaces. These are virtual spaces that emulate the physical workspaces that we have, like let's say an office. Instead of meeting in an office, especially at a time like now, you can meet virtually through Zoom or any other collaborative to work with digital collaborative tool. Social internets. Actually, so for this, we define an internet as a personalized network that companies use for their own internal interactions. This is mainly for security reasons, and being a place for interaction, it's therefore social. So for the last questions, how do collaboration tools actually ensure collaboration? So for this, for example, Google Colabs, it ensures that the commits done are updated in each and every other person's space, regardless of where they are. So the updates are, I can say, timely, depending on the work, the time these people work. So it's also flexible because it allows people to work not at a fixed time, but at a time that they wish to work. And it also allows for flexible space, like you don't need to meet at a certain place so that you can work together. So it actually promotes collaboration like that. So are there social functions that actually need in need of this? Yes. Social functions, actually just any other interaction that people let's say even in a group like this, we need to have a platform where we can interact together so that we can actually make sure the work is done. So that's it for us.
Thank you, Newton, for that. So I had indicated that I was to also give comments about the same reflection questions, but I note we've all been in this Zoom. There's the Zoom fatigue. So allow me to post my response on the e-learning, which will aggregate the comments that I've listened to all the groups very attentively. I want to appreciate everyone his contribution into the discussion. And so now I want to again to give you an individual kind of reflection now. Suppose you were to pick an entity, an organization, and for purposes of uniformity in reflection, I'm going to give two. You may think of a school, maybe a primary school for this matter, and maybe a hospital. What social functions do you see there? So I want you to reflect on this. What social functions do you see there? Then number two, what social digital tools would you propose to them? Why I'm mentioning this too is to show you that as you design the systems, like what you guys are doing, do you see a social aspect in it? In other words, now when I talk about social functions, I want you to go to the abstract level. It's what we call the abstract level. General description. When you move from the abstract level, you go to the physical aspect, the implementation level. For instance, like when you say a system is going to do connect maybe the user, or we can say the user, external user and the internal user. You see, you can actually say that the system is going to connect the external user and the internal user. You see, that is at the abstract level. Now, when we go to the implementation level, it becomes physical. That now you are actually saying how. Now, so I want to show you what we mean by the social functions. So in that particular case, the social functions are very important when it comes to system designs. Now, I know in chapter 4, sorry, where you design this system functionalities, you talk about what you call there is the functional requirement and the non-functional requirements. Now, the functional requirements and the non-functional requirements, if you look at them in a very abstract way, there are those functions that you will enhance your system to accomplish the social perspective of the system as discussed previously. For instance, as I've said that the system should be able to connect the external user and the internal user. You see, in this particular case, we are bringing in the social aspects or the social dynamics of the system. So I want you to just pay attention to two institutions or two potential institutions, that is a primary school and a hospital, and try to identify as an individual. This is not an assignment, really. It's a reflection exercise, because the essence here is not monks, but the essence here is understanding these concepts. How do they actually influence, the systems that we do? So you actually try to see those social functions. Now look at the social digital tools that can do those social functions. And then once you understand this, that is good enough. In the coming days, I'll then be able to give a more substantive kind of exercise that you will be doing for purpose of grading. So because of time, we'll stop at that point, but I'm going to respond to those questions and you'll see my comments you put together with what you have actually done. That's good enough. But at the same time, I think it will be good if we could maybe put those comments together. There is a time I will put a link, so then we can again upload it there. We clean them and have them together. So you can sign out, and I want to wish you a good afternoon.